A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Ow. That was dangerous. Don't do that. Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings, a day of days where we celebrate roses. I'm wearing my Four Roses hat. I'm not going to wear it anymore because I'm inside. But there we go. Four Roses Bourbon. Yay. This is the hat I wear around all the time. So Four Roses is always with me, technically. Where am I going to put this? Fine. Music Maestro. I knew I was forgetting something. It's always something. But you'll note this bottle is very full because it's very unopened, and I just bought it today because I clearly need more whiskey. But this is actually one that I've been missing for a while, and it's made me sad that I didn't have it. So now I do. Ouch. Wall. Go. You can let me know if you can hear that. That'd be great. There we go. I'm looking at the volume to make sure it's not too loud. And it is time for us to relax as we all go back into another week. Yay. This one's very special for people who are in relationships because they are obligated to buy each other things and spend money. Mostly on chocolates and flowers. I have a better idea. Buy it on roses. 4 roses, honestly. Because that's the only thing I'm going to celebrate in February. It's 4 Roses month. Yay. And there's a surprise at the end. You'll note, you'll note once I show you the thing I set up to show you. There's these, so you know what the hell's going on. So it helps me know what the hell's going on. And, bam, a flight of 3/4 Four Roses bourbons. All the same, all different. We'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to it because I get to drink four roses. Really, it should only be 3 because that makes a dozen. Whatever. The spares are for all of you. Haha. Where's the chat? I saw people here. I need to catch up. Catch up. 5 fingers, high five. Going for live chat while you show me just the normal. Whiskey uncensored. Epic mustache detected with footballs at the end of it. On the end of it. No footballs here. I don't even know what those are. Seems to be something on TV in the background. What? There's nothing on TV. What the hell is television? Who watches television? That's old. No one does that anymore. It's all about roses tonight, not balls. Ugh. But this was $60 or $59.99 today, and this is the Four Roses Small Batch Select. I went through the phases that I think many people do when you buy whiskey, or at least you're starting to get into whiskey and interested in whiskey. I went through the phases of Four Roses, where initially I don't think I actually started with the small batch. I tried the small batch. I've done it before. If you go back and watch live streams from probably 2 to 3 years ago, that feels unpleasant. I have had the yellow label and I've had the small batch. But I'm fairly certain I started off with the single barrel. And I will recommend the single barrel to anyone. It's $10 less than this one, which is still $50. And it really should be cheaper than that. Inflation's fun. But the point is, this is where I landed now. I used to drink the single barrels, and then I tried this one, and now I've been stuck on this one, and I haven't had a bottle for quite a while, come to think of it. Although I have something else, and that is number C. Is what I've had as the hold. The reason I haven't bought another one of these is because I still have that. And I'm going to keep that for as long as I can, but it's more than half empty already. Why did the music get louder? Relax. Freak me out. There we go. Sugar Kitty. Meow. That's what I think Sugar Kitty sounds like. Just for the record. So we begin. As we do. This is an opening. This is going to be a double opening, by the way. We're double doing it. We're going to have 2 bottle uncorkings tonight. This is number 1, if I can find the thing. Thankfully I can. And this, again, is one of my favorites. This is at 52%. Again, it's all listed here. Except for the last one, which is a surprise at the end. Make sure this is all good. And I'm going to pour from my right to left, and your left to my right. Anyway. This is how you keep up. The first one, A, is this. Whiskey Nose, hello. Welcome. I'm surprised anyone's here, honestly. I know what's going on. I choose to ignore it. Because I don't care. And it's much easier for me to do that. But it's not so easy to ignore what the hell's happening, because it's kind of constant this time of year. Well, that would have been a great way to start. Knock over the whiskey you just poured. Whew. Delicious. Immediately, this is going to go behind me onto my shelf of whiskeys that I drank that I don't want to share. I do share, but I hide them so you can't see them. And that's just kind of how it's set up by accident. This, on the other hand, as you can see, was a very special gift of a certain someone who's in chat right now. I know who they are. I don't want to call anyone out, but if you want to say who you are, please do. God damn it, this thing never focuses. And this is at 57.1%. This is the limited edition from 2021. I'd like to say something like, oh, I didn't get my hands on the last one from last year, but that's not true. I didn't even go look for it. I wouldn't even know where to look. This was a fluke, and a lovely one at that. But I have been sharing it. That's why it's like this. But there's another story for the next bottle, but we don't want to talk about that yet. Yeah! And this is going to be B. Again, I'm trying to line them up so it's easy to follow along, and mostly for me to follow along. So that's B. 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 Remember Sesame Street? Oh, Sesame Street. Next. This is the one I did a video of just last week. What a coincidence. I hope you watched it and liked it very much, because I made it. That's it. Speaking of, if you're in chat. Hold on. Let me fix that. Just let me fix that. Where is it? There we go. Please. Thank you. And speaking of that, something happened while I was not even at my computer earlier today. I was getting ready for... That's not it. Don't do that. I was getting ready for the stream. So I had the stream set up and ready to go. And then I heard something that I don't often hear during live streams, and was surprised to hear it all, because this is, infrequent, we'll say, but it should happen more and more often as we keep going, right? Sure. Here we go. Ready? Hope it works.
Oh, hi.
Russell Hardy, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Oh, that's what I was trying to make go away. Like and sub. Go away. I guess that should be above the blind fight holder. Hold on. I can fix that, I think. There we go. That wasn't for the... Anyway, here we are. Someone's been into my whiskey. I don't know how this happened. But this is the one where the video came out this past week. As you can tell, I like it. This doesn't happen very often. If it did, I would have much more of a problem having this channel and functioning, which is kind of saying a lot, really, because I barely function as it is. But this is the Four Roses from the distillery, purchased by myself, and drank by myself. And yes, no one else has had any of this whiskey yet. Or this bottle, I should say. Specially selected by Brett Elliott, Master Distiller. This is a Four Roses Recipe Select, 20% rye mash bill, delicate fruit, OESV. I forget what that means, but it's important, and they do that. So let's pour. Again, this is an excuse. A lovely excuse. But I've had plenty of excuses as of late to drink this whiskey. What? Don't judge me. It's really good. I mean, I will be surprised if it doesn't come out as the one I prefer. And that is another reason for doing this, just to find out. And, more importantly, because I haven't had the small batch select in quite a while. So, see how it'll hold up. See how it will hold up. Enunciation is important. As is breath control. I lost Chad. Where did you go? Come back. I know you're there. I know you're there. Oh. Ow. Ow. Whiskey Nose, are you sending out gifts again? Where's my whiskey kit? Number 4 is going to be put on hold. So you have to stick around. See how that works? But it's right here. I'm touching it. Consensually. Hey now, hang it easy. What are you doing? Hello. Welcome to this mess. Oh, and I think I fixed the sound. I think I sound louder now. There was a thing. I hope I fixed it. We're going with A, B, and C. I'm going to go through those 3 first, and then I'm going to pour the last one, and that is also an uncorking. Uncorking. Whatever, uncorking. That sounds good. This is A. Cameras. Oh, man. That is delightful. It's been so long. Welcome back, old friend. You won't last. Actually, I do have 4 Roses bottles, so it's, I'm going to have to even them all out, basically. 4 Roses, to me, often comes out, I don't want to say floral. Maybe perfume. Fruits and flowers are often what I get on a lot of 4 Roses. With a lovely sweetness. Vanilla sweetness, probably, because I love vanilla stuff, it seems. That's why I'm so keen on bourbons. There's a lot of vanilla and caramel and brown sugar and all these sweet notes that I enjoy so much. Oh, and the 4th one I should mention is going to be in a bigger glass, or bigger Glencairn. Because I do have 4 smaller ones, but I used one last Friday and I haven't washed yet. So there. That may be the only difference as far as glassware that will be. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but 4 Roses is delicious. And I have to say that because it's true, but I don't want to tell too many people, so don't tell anyone, because there are problems now. Maybe I'm just a little angry. Not angry. Disappointed? I'm not sure. There was a bottle, a 4 Roses bottle that was released recently via a certain other channel, and it didn't even get close to getting one. It was not even an option to get one because it went like that. So it made me a little sad. But it's alright. Again, I have 4 Roses bottles. I'll be fine. You know the feeling. FOMO, yeah. That's what that is. I don't like that. Oh. My God. I love it. I freaking love 4 Roses, especially the small batch select. It's much richer, and it's making me think of cake for some reason, like chocolate cake. I love cake. I shouldn't eat cake, but oh my God. And if you're curious, I like chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream. Chocolate cake with vanilla icing. And very dull. Or marble. Marble cake's really good too. I'm thinking about cake now. Chocolate chip muffins. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I cannot stop that's just a small batch select. We haven't even started on the expensive stuff yet. So let's go, shall we? Yes. B. I can see Kermit the Frog saying that's freaking me out. Ooh. There's a notable difference between the first one and the second one, as there should be. not as sweet. Oh, it's got a little more spice to it. So I got cinnamon instead of just delicious fruit sweetness. Ugh. Dark and Stormy is copyrighted. The Midnight Special. After midnight, we got a little all hang down. Sorry. Copyright strike. Bam. You're not monetized yet. I know. They'll still come after me. And it still has that vanilla sweetness on the nose. And this is B. This is the Four Roses 2021 LE. Whoa. I'm salivating. It's like, no, no. Smell first. First. Oh God, they're all so good. Noticeable difference between A and B, which is good, because I wasn't sure if there'd be any difference. Now let's go on to C. Again, this is a single barrel, so we're switching up what it is, but it is actually one thing that caught my eye, and may have caught your eye as well if you're looking at the labels here. The Four Roses 2021 LE is 57.1%. The Four Roses Single Barrel Private Select OES, that's a V. That's supposed to be a V. Excuse me. Caught myself. Oops, that's not it. I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. There we go. OES. Ooh. I fixed it. Anyway, the single barrel private select OESV is also 57.1%. Coincidence? Probably. Here we go. On to C, the OESV. They're all different. This one's lighter. Oh, there we go. Ooh, citrus. It had an orange zest. Yeah, this is definitely more fruit notes. And they say that. I mean, OESV is supposed to be, what do they call it? They said the words. That's not it. Officially on the bottle, it says, ooh, can't read. Oak and vanilla, balanced perfectly with light berries and apricots, the aroma and flavors of this 11-year, 5-month-old bourbon. The bright flavors unfold on the palate into a lingering finish of light rye and cinnamon. Very vague with some of these, but that's okay. This is their rye mash bill. The other ones, I don't know. I could have done research. I'm not good at that. You have to have a certain degree of focus that I don't have. Oh, yeah. Yep, these all smell delicious. What's funny, though, is out of these three, already, I'm leaning towards the small batch select. Which is a little surprising, because I thought I would absolutely adore this single barrel, and that's it. But now, which this is a good thing, by the way. If I prefer the small batch select, that would be great. But I'd still want to get every single silly ass OES whatever single barrel private select I could get my hands on. That's still always going to be a thing. All right, let's get to the drinking part. It's only been 20 minutes. Not that I'm keeping track. This is for me, by the way. I know what's going on tonight, so thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. I know there's other stuff going on, unfortunately. I want to make it clear, I don't dislike the Super Bowl, I just ignore it, because I have no interest. And I never have. It's been that way for as long as I remember. Are you interested in football? No. Are you interested in sports? No. Do you want a Super Bowl? I do not care. The problem is I live in America, where everyone says everything about the Super Bowl. And I'll hear about who won tomorrow, even though I don't care. It's very saturated in American culture, we'll say. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah, football is saturation. You can tell because they put children in football stuff early, real early. What, middle school? I have no idea. It's a bit wild. Don't get me started on football. Just don't. I have opinions. And too many people like football to hear my opinions. Cold George, hello. Welcome to me just nosing whiskey and being in love with it. Cheers, everyone. Please let me know what's in your glass, if there's anything in your glass. It doesn't matter what it is. Tell me what you're eating. I mean, whatever. I don't know what's going on right now. Hello, old friend. It feels thinner. Only a little bit. Well, hi. It's got nice spice. It's a little sweet. But I think because of these other whiskeys I've been having, it seems a little less. The ones that are much more rich and round and have more of a mouthfeel. This one seems thinner than I remember it. But as I said, part of this is to see what I prefer. And also, I have not had the small batch select in a while. And more importantly, I just opened it. Always keep that in mind. When you open a bottle, that's not... Although I do it for the videos, it's important to have a first opinion. Or at least a first experience opinion. But I know whiskey has to open up a little bit. Or at least I prefer it to. There we go. Little light spice, little cinnamon, little vanilla. No major berry notes. Maybe a touch of orange zest. KFC and my state just started selling Garrisons. Go and open it. Do it! John McKellen, hello. I've seen Texas whiskeys around, but not really around me. Like I wouldn't be surprised in the least if Texas was like Rhode Island. We'll pass on that. We'll just send it to the other ones like New York and yeah, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. So I can find it there. Oh, and of course there's Irene Tan store, so I'm good. I can find what I need there. Going on to B. This is another favorite. I believe this one seemed punchy. That was when my memory of it was at 57.1%. It seemed a little... But it's also in this bottle. Part of me is thinking I should probably put that in another bottle. Or I should bottle it up for samples. I do have another giveaway coming up. Is it Friday? Maybe Friday? I'm undecided. But I have been talking about this over here in the back, the Game of Thrones collection. So what I'd like to do, barring any me feeling not up to it, which has happened a few times lately, I want to do that giveaway. I want to, I have to, the problem is I have to hype it up, and that's difficult. I know the Game of Thrones thing that was going on, I don't know if it's still running or not, but anyway, I want to share those, because they're just sitting there. I don't drink them. They are mostly for display. But they're good. I think there was maybe one or two I didn't really like. Oh. I love that the nose is all different. Is that lemon? Lemon or lime? That was a surprise. I always find something, like if I'm talking to you and not really focusing, sometimes when I do that, like I don't know what it is, the moving away, the air moves, something makes it like, whoa, what was that? I just got either lime or lemon. On B. Cheers again. Oh yeah. Oh, it's more oak forward. Not as sweet. It's not as punchy as I remember. It still said hi, but it didn't grab him by the throat or anything. Well, let's have hold on. Yeah, it's drier. The first one was not. The first one seemed a little thinner. This is definitely more spice and more oak. Hardly any fruit notes on the palate. More like chocolate or brownie. Brownies are usually chocolate. There's a vast difference between those two things, even if they're similar. All right. Would you agree? I don't know what I said. And on to C. This is the Four Roses single barrel private selecting from the distillery. I liked it, still like it, and it was picked by Brett Elliott, who's the master distiller there, so that would explain a lot. Oh. Yes. Oh, why am I not surprised how good that is? Oh my gosh. Iced tea and water. Mama KillCo. Hello. Hi, Mom. Welcome. Yeah, that was really nice. That was fruit. That was just a little bit of caramel sweetness. And then just a touch of oak, a little dry on the palate. And then just kind of lifts. Oh my gosh. Delightful. Oh, it was like fruit. There was like a peach. Oh my goodness. Ooh, and now it's drier again than I thought it was. I tried to hold on there a little longer for the second sip, as I do. Wow. I got Oreo cookie went through my mind for a moment, but I think it was just the filling, like the vanilla filling. That's the sweet stuff right there. Considering they make ginormous cookies filled with that stuff, there's a reason it's all sugar. The question is, which one of these would I lean to as a preference? And I mean, you just saw my reaction with all three of those, so it's pretty obvious, but I haven't gone back to back to back. I probably throw things off doing that, but I need like immediate, less thought, more drink. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Still. And it's the same percentage. B and C are the same percentage, but B is more spiky. It's wild. Crap, now they all taste different. Other than B. B is still punchy. So I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna, for the moment, rule out B because it's just like a jab. It's still nice, but it's not as sweet, not as fruity, and a little spiky. What I am finding astounding, and I know there's a proof difference between these two. That should be made clear. The first one, the small batch select, is at 52%. And this is something that's a regular release. It's on the shelf almost all the time. This is a very special release that was got at the distillery, and it is 5% higher. I didn't need to think about that. 5.1%. So there's going to be, I feel like that alone would make a texture difference. Just because, other than, you know, they're completely different things, technically. The nose on A is really nice, still. But I think it's the palate that's failing at the moment. Or not failing, but It's less. It's less than what I want it to be. And it's got pretty rough competition. It's lighter. How do I explain this? It's almost as if it's a different type of vanilla note I'm getting. Mr. Great Shot, cheers, hello, welcome to this madness. How do I put this? The vanilla on A, and I like vanilla. I found that out a while ago. I've always known that. I'm trying to think of what kind of vanilla it is. And when I think of good vanilla, I think of certain vanilla frostings, and I think of vanilla glaze on Cinnabons. Those are great, or cinnamon buns, not necessarily Cinnabon. That's a company. But the vanilla note I'm getting on A is not what I want. It's still good, but it's I would compare it to, like, you have something that's vanilla, but it's artificial vanilla. It still tastes like vanilla, and it's still good. But something just, you know, it's like just knowing that it's artificial. I know this shouldn't be. But that's the mentality I have at the moment. It is the vanilla note, even though I know it's what it should be. Comparing it to C is making it seem as if it's an artificial vanilla taste rather than what C has, which is almost more natural vanilla bean palette. It's mostly on the taste. One of the simple things in life for me is when you see vanilla frosting and it's got those little flecks of vanilla bean in it. Love that. Ugh. The nose is so freaking amazing. I cannot keep... I said that so many times. And I mean, it's true. I have not done this to a bottle in a very long time. Like, I don't remember the last time I did that. I've had that for like 3 weeks. And I keep going back to it. It's frustrating. I still have to send a sample out, too. Don't drink it all, Brian. Mr. Great Shot, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Coming in and giving the thumbs. Getting those people who enjoy whiskey more than other things a chance to hang out with the cool kids. This has more spice to it. That's what's missing. There's a little prickly, not cinnamon, but there's a spice to it. Maybe peppery. That little, peppery kick is on C, and it's not as prevalent on A. Great, comparing these back to back is not fair. I am not surprised that the small batch select is having an issue being compared to what it's being compared to. However, I still think I like it more than the limited edition of 2021, which is saying something, because the price difference is astounding. Do I still love the idea of limited edition stuff like this? Four Roses doing this? Hell yeah. But the cost alone is not, it just makes it absolutely not worth it. Even if it is as good as what I'm enjoying right now with C. It wouldn't matter. C itself was expensive. I think it was $90 at the distillery, maybe $80. It was ridiculous. When I bought it, I went, ow! But I wanted it. And it's delicious. So it's fine. It's been worth it in the long run. Now, for the opening, which I was supposed to do 5 minutes ago, technically, I made that up in my head like a little bit ago when I saw it 2 minutes ago and thought, oh my gosh, I was supposed to do this 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Anyway, I got to change what the next one is. The last one we're going to compare that I'm opening for me, because I love me. Technically. Some days I don't. Most days I don't. Anyhow, we won't talk about my own mental health problems yet. If you know what they are, you know. It's been very annoying lately. We have another one. This is the Four Roses single barrel strength. Another private select, but this is from a store. This is a store pick from the, was it 19 something? I can't even read it because it's such a tiny little logo. Anyway, it's a Barrel Society thing at the store I go to a lot. Mama KillCo is the one who clued me in on this one, so thank you, Mom. And this is their corn mash bill, so it's going to be very different than their 20% mash bill, 20% rye one. Bottled September 22nd, 2021, and it was aged 9 years and 6 months. This is an OESO bottle. So let me type that in like I'm supposed to. SB Private Select. OESO. What did I say? Yeah, I did. OESO. All right. The percentage is about 55? It's 55. Wow. How did I do that? So we're going to a lower proof and a completely different mash bill. So let's see what happens. Again, Four Roses does that kind of thing, and I love it. There's a lot of variety, a lot of changing things up, a lot of different stuff that comes out of one place. And if you can get to distillery, I suggest you do so. Now, every part of my being is kind of saying I should do a video on this. However, this past week's video was the Four Roses bottle. You can see what's happened to it. So I'm going to have to open another. And this is a private select from a store nearby that no one can get. I think it's, you know, it was a raffle. It was one of those. So I was lucky to even get the bottle at all. But it's still a Four Roses small batch special select thing. But the good thing is, because that business, that chain of liquor stores can get something like this, means I can find more. But I don't think anything's ever going to top the one I got from the distillery. If this one does, I will be astounded. I'm very annoyed. Going all the way to Kentucky is expensive. Biking bourbon. Hello. Cheers. I'm still going to get my bike out someday, I promise. I really am. I want to. I need to get more cardio in. Here we are, folks. Unopened. Ready to crack the seal. You're seeing it live. This is the best halftime show ever. Whoa. That was a good one. This is going in the bigger glass because the other one is in the dishwater. Oh, yeah. Ooh, steady on. Something about this bottle, it's good for holding. I don't feel like I'm going to drop it like the round ones. Put that down. Close this. Put this back over here. Now, this is also my first nose taste of this whiskey, so we will see what happens. However, the drawback is that this is also a deck pour. Or the first pour, whatever you want to call it. Whoa! Cheers once again. First I got nose. Oh, I think we get some of the glass. What happens? Oh yeah, that's corn. That's absolutely corn. That is corn sweetness right away. Unsurprising. Wow, it's definitely more sweet than the other ones. Much sweeter. Good grief. And of course, it's a bourbon. There's a vanilla. It seems similar to the one I just had, so the vanilla is the same. It's kind of buried under all this weird corn sweetness. It's not a bad thing. It's surprising. Still smells good. Hot damn. All right, I'm gonna do something wild after I compare these two. I'm just gonna compare the single barrels. I have a good idea which one I'll like more, but we'll see. This might surprise me. The nose isn't as fascinating as C is. This is D. This is the one in the big glass here. And this is the first initial pour, and it is a completely different mash bill. I'm finding I do like high rye mash bills. This one isn't so much. This is mostly corn. I forget what the actual mash bill is. I don't think it says, but let's find out. No, I don't think they have a write-up. The other one had a write-up because it was distillery. It just says 75% corn mash bill with rich fruit. I am not getting half as much fruit. Not even a third. I'm looking for it now. There is. I mean, also, I just read that, so of course I'm going to think there is. But it's still berry. It's very corn dominant. And I haven't quite gotten to the level where I'm comfortable to say, hey, that's a corn sweetness. But I know for a fact, because of what it says on the side, that it's a high corn mash bill. And the sweetness is right there. I can't, like, ignore it. All right, going into this one now. We're going to C. C. Oh my gosh. It's so good. And what's nice is each sip is just as good. You sometimes don't get that. Sometimes you get, your palate gets a little used to it. This one, it just has this. It has a flourish. It does every time. It just shows up and flourishes. A lovely progression, start to end. Ugh. And now we get to try the new one. I don't think it's definitely not going to be the same, but I'm curious as to what it will be. I'm looking for fruit notes. I think apricot. I got a few going through my head. There's peach, there's apricot, and there's one more. Maybe red apple? Alright, cheers. Have a sip. What will it be like? Nobody knows. That was pleasant. It wasn't overly sweet. The texture was a little less. It actually reminded me of the first one, where the textures, like, again, C is absolute favorite. Big surprise. And it seems like D and A, for whatever reason, the mouth feels a little lacking, but only because it's being compared to C. I feel like if I had not compared it to any of these, they would have been fine. Oop. Oh, there it is. Just a little bit. Feel on your palate. It's a little spicy. Oh gosh. It kind of had a very slow build of spice. And we're talking mostly cinnamon or peppery. Very prickly. Can you hold any high proof whiskey on your tongue for a little bit, you're going to notice. Huh. The sweetness is actually more subdued than I expected. Oh yeah. Still good. But I think it's a similar problem. Not exactly the same, but again, I'm going off vanilla notes. And though it's there, it's faint. It's a background. But I have actually blown out my palate a little bit because I held it on there for that long. It doesn't drink like it's proof either. I know it's 55%. The C does not drink like it's proof either. B is the only one that really does. But of course, the funny fact is that B and C are the same, but they do not drink the same as far as proof. B is punchier, spiky, and C is not. Ugh. It is lighter. It's still sweet, but it's light sweetness. It gets a little dry at the end. I'm trying to. I guess it's got to be a corn sweetness because I'm having trouble saying what it is. Or maybe I'm trying too hard. Let me try not to think about anything. That usually helps. Nope. Oh, whoa, okay. I don't know what just happened there, but I thought of the pool, like chlorine. That was odd. And then my brain jumped over to Florida, and I had a very distinct memory. I don't know why I remember this. I have a habit in my life of remembering very distinct moments for no apparent reason. Like I can almost tell when it's happening. I don't know if this happens with other people. It's really hard to tell. But this is a moment where I was in Florida, which is a while ago. And I was near the Tower of Terror. And I believe I was waiting. I was waiting for my mom or Kevin, or Kevin's my brother. My mom or my brother. Or something. It was hot. And I went and I got one of those silly ass, very expensive, Mickey Mouse ice cream cones. So, you know, the chocolate with vanilla ice cream in the middle, that's all it is. But it's shaped like Mickey Mouse's freaking face, so it costs $15. I don't remember how much it cost. But there's that. Which is a good memory. I mean, it's stuck in there for a reason. It was just very nice to be, you know, in Florida, eating this ice cream that was melting very fast, in this magical land. So that's a good thing for this to just kind of pop into my head. What was the first one I said? Oh, the pool. That was odd. Making me think of chlorine. I think it was actually... maybe that means it's clean? I'm not sure. Specifically, I was thinking, Mom, if you're still here, there is a place that we stayed this past January, briefly, for our secondary Christmas, because we all missed the first one. At the end of last year, I was sick, and my father was in the hospital briefly, so that canceled the plans. So we rescheduled. And the place we stay, the first floor, when you walk in to go to your room, at the elevator, the pool is right there. So it's like that kind of chlorine, where you're not in the pool room, but it's very nearby, and you can tell. Why did I think that? I have no idea, but that's what happened. Just letting you know. Making me think of Kentucky. Oh, that's a good memory too. That one, on that sip, and I'm wondering now, I'm curious, because this is a very specific memory as well. I was in Kentucky in 2021? Or was this 2019? I have no idea how many times I've been to Kentucky. But one of these times I was very lucky. Uh-oh. Nightbot's angry. Nightbot, I like the emotes. 4 roses and a heart. It's fine. Relax. What was I saying? Oh, so when I went to Kentucky at one point, it wasn't last year, so it must have been 2021, I believe. I've only gone there twice. It feels like I've been there 4 times, though. Because I went to a lot of different places. Anyway, point is, the first time I went to Kentucky, It's Bourbon Night themselves were kind enough to actually meet me in person, and we had dinner. We both talked, all of us talked, 3 of us, talked about the fact that it would have been a little better if we had gone somewhere else, but this was a very fancy, nice place with lots of bourbons, and I got to purchase a 4 Roses drink, and I believe it was one of these that was on their shelf. I don't know how much it cost for the drink, and I didn't ask because it was Chad and Sarah were kind enough to buy the drinks. So that was nice. But it's making me think of that moment, which is good, and it makes sense because I had a single barrel pick of some sort. It could have been the same mash bill, it probably wasn't. But I find that interesting, that memory popped up in that moment. And as I recall, it was a good bourbon. But it was also very loud. It was a very busy restaurant, so as much as I enjoyed being there and talking with them, it was very hard to hear. And again, I have problems with lots of noise going on and lots of people around me. So, still lovely. Still have the picture somewhere. Hopefully we'll do that again someday. We'll see. I know they're very busy right now. They've got a lot going on. I'm going back to A. Still very pleasant. I'm bummed that I can tell that the texture is different. But I think if I pour that by itself, I wouldn't be as aware of it. What I am worried about, and this is, I think, a concern that some whiskey people have as they progress in their journey, I have noticed that I've been leaning towards the 55% range lately. I was very happy to stay in the 50% range. I thought that's where I was going to stay. But considering I have a 52%, and then these two 57% are really standing out, and then 55, which is the D, is still a little lacking. It's still good. It's not bad. And it is a different mash bill, and I think I like their 20% rye or high rye mash bill better, just overall. This is B. Ooh. There's something really nice about the middle of this one, though. Oh, that was great. That was like childhood. It's like childhood when you just got some kind of cookie. That's the feeling I got. Oh, that was nice. I didn't expect that one. And that's been sitting in the glass for a while, and it was absolutely not as punchy. Like, I didn't notice at all. So again, it's very important to drink your whiskey over a certain period of time. You know, an hour. To see it change. Because that would change for the better. Again, getting a memory of a childhood as ahead of having a cookie. It's a good one. This is going to be the last of this one, at least for the moment. This one's mellowed out too. Oh, still. Lovely little bit of fruit and spice. I thought of some kind of mixed nuts, oddly enough, with like raisins in it, or craisins. Like dried fruits. And maybe, I think it was walnuts. But I don't think I've had enough walnuts in my life. Ooh. This is the one I emptied first. This is C. This is, of course, this bottle, which has, in the course of a few weeks, gotten to here. With the best view. None of them. There we go. Well, this one, which I've had for quite a while, at least a year, since I got it at the end of 2021 in all likelihood. As you can see, this one is low, but I've also shared it. And this one has only been open for a few weeks. Also, I would not drink this one in any regularity, except for right now. And I hope it doesn't last the year. Because then I can get the next one, and that's not going to happen. Going on to D. Ah. The corn one is sweeter in a different way. So the one that's 75% corn is still good, has just a little bit of spice to it. Nice little dry note at the end. But the sweetness isn't the same. It's not quite vanilla. It's making me think of corn syrup. It isn't bad, but I'm trying to avoid that high fructose corn syrup, you know? So it's not a bad memory. It's just, it's a sweetness that I'm actively aware of. And one I try to avoid, unfortunately. Give me that nice granulated sugar. Although I am one of those people who's a stickler for the, what's the brown sugar bags, which is like crystals. Sugar in the raw. Love that. It is very good. But I'm glad I didn't, well, in this comparison, it would be hard for it to win anything. And knowing it's a higher corn mash bill is immediately, it's like, But I seem to like the 20% rye one. That's good to know. So in the future, I can keep an eye out for that. And I'm curious about the private select, small batch, select. Because I'm wondering what the mash bill is in this one. Does it tell me? I know it's got this little doobly-doo here. But I don't think that tells me for certain. I think it's just a mix. I believe. Maybe not. And it tells me about the yeast strains. That's what I think that's about. Yeah. Six recipes and 4 rows of small batch select. So I think it mixes all of them with this. I don't remember. Anyway, ow. It's still good. Richie Z, hello. Welcome. We're just wrapping it up, unfortunately. But it's been quite the interesting evening, and I'm unsurprised that the one I definitely prefer still, that one. C. And I think to break it at the end, it's kind of hard to make this decision because it's a tie feels like a tie between A and D, and more goes to A, simply because it's able to hold up at least with one of these small batch select bottles. Again, this is just open tonight, so I will have to revisit it once it's got a little air in it. And for all I know, it might not last another week or a month. Sorry, not week. That would be bad. Which you see, what I will say is it's probably this one. Usually I'm not so definitive, but this is the bottle that is already this empty. Does not surprise me at all. And what I want to do now, just to be wild and just to close this off, I'm going to pour the rest of these. So we're going to mix A, B, and D together, just for funs. I'll probably collapse them all and make it gross, but this is also not a lot, and they're definitely not, even. So who knows? We'll mix. See what that did. It didn't murder it. That's good. Actually smells pretty good. It's making me think that the Four Roses Small Batch Select feels like it took over. Which is then you will be very jealous. Mike Franklin, good evening. You guys always show up at the end. But this one is actually from the distillery. The video I did last week, if you didn't watch it, which I know you did, Richie Z. I know you did. And you liked it, and you commented, and you told all your friends about it. This is actually from the distillery. And Brett Elliott, the master distiller, picked it. OESV. Phenomenal bottle. Definitely not going to last very long. Ugh. Gentlemen, again, thank you for showing up. Please, again, I always forget to say, I need to put this on an auto thing. But please like and subscribe, as I showed earlier. Since you guys are just showing up, I will show this again. It's very rare that we actually see this thing activate. But this happened earlier tonight. I want you all to know.
Oh, how?
There we go. Stitch showed up because we got a new subscriber. Russell Hardy. Again, thank you. Long Wharf, thank you, Mom. The place we were staying that has the chlorine pool near the entrance is a place called Long Wharf in Newport. Nice place. I'd recommend staying there if you ever want to visit Newport. And they have a pool. I think it's an indoor-outdoor pool, too, which is pretty awesome. Richie Z, you're always welcome to watch the replay. It was a lot of what I'm doing right now. Whoa. All right, with that, folks, we've come at 8 o'clock. I don't know what's going on with television, but I like to keep it concise as I can, as I'm usually a mess. But as I said, of course, the one I preferred is the one that is the most empty. I am looking forward to trying this again as it opens up, and I'm very happy I gave this to me as a Valentine's gift, because now I have 2 of these bottles open. What could be better? With that, well, as always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.